Good Wednesday morning to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you another update on those altcoins that we did over the weekend. I told you I'd circle back around when they broke out because I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. And we're going to circle around and figure out exactly how far we're going to go. We're going to go over Ethereum, Solana. We're going to go over XRP on the daily chart. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance, figure out exactly what's happening, if this is really an alt season or we're just getting another fake out. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show off for just a minute. These are our wins over in the crypto school for the past week or two. AVAX, we actually opened 2 days ago, 252% in profit. Solana's been open since about $123, 952% profit. XRP, we opened 2 days ago at 204, 204% profit. Bitcoin, my 100x trade. It was the right place to do it, and it's almost a 10x. Entry was around 87,313. SUI got in at 179, 144% profit. Ethereum 421, we got in at about 29.26. But I used Blowfin to trade on almost exclusively. They've done really well. It's the only exchange that didn't crash during the Flash Friday, October 10th crash. But you'll find a link to that in my description. The first 300 registered users get a $10 voucher just for signing up. And each new user gets VIP 1 for 30 days. But if you're already a user, you can click on my link, sign up for this futures deposit bonus up all the way up to about $1,000 or $2,500. Net deposit $10,000 is going to yield you a $1,000 futures bonus. So go ahead and check that out. You'll find it all in my description. But now we're going to get into what we came after. We'll start off with the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Currently at a 47. This measures market sentiment. It's gone up pretty fast, got into neutral pretty quick. If this thing runs up and Bitcoin's around 105, 108,000, I'm going to have some concerns, but we'll break that down as we go along. Looking at an altcoin season index, it was interesting over the weekend because we went all the way up to about 55, 56. We had that pullback, everything came back down, but now we're working our way up. We're at 41, so we're headed that way. We really need to get up over that 50, 60, and up into 75 for me to get super excited. But I went ahead and pulled up a Bitcoin liquidation heat map because it's relevant and because we're still kind of in a Bitcoin season and alts are going to follow where Bitcoin goes. But you can see all the liquidations are generally to the top side. It's changed just a little bit. There's about $9 billion worth of shorts on the book and about $6.56 billion worth of longs on the book. So they're piling in, but most of them are late longs. So there may be some kind of pullback, but I still think the move is up for Bitcoin. But we're going to go ahead and get into the charts. We're going to figure out how this setup's going to play out. I'm pretty excited, and we'll start off with the Bitcoin dominance chart. We use this to gauge our altcoins because this is what tells us how much percent of crypto is in Bitcoin. Right now, we're at about 59%. So we're still in a Bitcoin season. But what I think's happening here is you can see I've got the Crusader signal on. You'll find a link to that in my description. This thing is absolutely amazing. When these bands tighten up, there's usually some kind of big move forming. Now I'm going to break down what I think that move is. The wick here that went all the way up to the golden zone was from Flash Friday. So we can technically say we've achieved this golden zone. Since then, we've lost these 50 moving averages, and we've just kind of been waffling around right above the retracement zone at about 58, almost 59%. But what I think's happening here, these bands are tightening up. We're below it. The move is probably going to head down. This is a weak structure that we're in. And your next stops will be around 51 to 47%. That means 49 to 53% of the money in crypto is in altcoins. That starts setting us up for an alt season. So we'll see what happens. Moving out to Ethereum, we'll figure out exactly what's going on. We broke out of that parallel channel and we just kind of consolidated. We started on this trend, and I've been telling you guys, I think we're setting up for a breakout. The 50s have came down to that trend. One of two things was happening. We're either going to break down and go into that bear market, or we're going to break out and start working up. And that's exactly what we've done. We've worked up over this 50 smooth moving average now. That's significant because the 50 usually works as a stronger support or resistance. And when you break over it and these moving averages cross over, you stay above them and start working up. And that's kind of what we're doing here. So next target's $4,065 to $4,455, I think, is where you stop. And then we have concerns. If Bitcoin breaks down from here from about 108 to 114,000, then I think we're in a bear market and we're going low and it's going to get ugly. But if Bitcoin can get up over those and get to work, I think 55 to 6,300 is on the table. The 2.618 sits at $8,700. That's pretty impressive. I do think the move is up for a while, at least to that golden zone. So I'm not going to give you retracements right now. So not right now until we show otherwise, 4,065 to 44.56. Looking at Solana, same thing. I told you that we were down on those bottom trends and we were breaking up. Solana lost that trend and worked its way back in. Now it's completely broken off of it, breaking up, working up to this daily retracement zone and making an attempt to cross this 50 smooth moving average. If Ethereum does it, I think Solana does it. Your big hurdle is going to be at about $175. That's where your weekly 50 simple moving average sits. If we can go up, hit about equilibrium at about $189, $87, come back down, retest successfully, 203 to 225 is on the table. Then I think it's contingent on Bitcoin, but I'm beginning to wonder if alts don't just separate from Bitcoin. Bitcoin may pull back and alts keep running. If that's the case, 289 to 335, your 2.618 sits all the way up at 467.15. That's the outlier, and we've got a lot of things to do to get through these targets, but you can't rule it out. Looking at XRP, has the wick from Flash Friday. We've talked about this. I think market makers like to fill about 50 to 80% of these wicks out. That's exactly what we've done. We had another trend that we broke off of. Now we're working our way up. We've broken above the daily 50 once, lost it, came down, retested the daily 50 smooth moving average, found support. So I think we work up over this, get up over this weekly 50 simple moving average at 246. What may happen is we may reject, come back down, retest this daily 50, then head on up 273 to 313. Long term, I think you hit 428 to 511. It's all the same contingency plan, with 728 being the outlier. So that's going to get us at least through the next few days to probably the end of the month. I think there's some boxes being checked that needed to be checked to keep working up. We've got some more boxes that we need to check to continue that process. But as soon as we find a rejection point or find some kind of new support, I'll circle back around. We'll do this video again. But let's keep it up. I think we're headed in the right direction, and it's pretty exciting. So cautiously optimistic. Once we get to those golden zones, we'll have a better idea of what's going on. But I'll circle back around when we get to it. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Tap the bell notification. I do Bitcoin updates every single night. You'll have a good idea of what's going on in the market in general. So go ahead and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my thesis. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Chris Hare, the world champion crypto cowboy. I got to get out the door, get some horses shod. We'll see you down the road.